Hey guys, I'm Adam86 and welcome to a new Arsenal video. Just want to apologise for my voice straight off the bat. Obviously, the game was a few hours ago now, but I lost my voice shouting too much. I went to a casino to watch it, and yeah, it was the only place that was open and showing the game at 3 a.m. So I shouted too much, and yeah, my voice is all messed up, but it is what it is. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, Arsenal 3, Southampton 3 at home, which is a horrifically bad result. Mixed feelings, obviously. Um, we needed to win this game. We should have won this game. Southampton at the bottom and likely to be relegated. We should have won this game at home. There's no real excuse for it. There are things in the game that could be used as excuses, but there's no excuse for it, to be honest with you. Um, Straight off the bat, Ramsdale, a fluke, stupid decision. Obviously, the pass that he made, I mean, looking back, the pass looks horrific. And I remember at the time, like, shouting at the screen, what are you doing? Um, just a stupid pass, a stupid decision, a snap decision in the first 30 seconds of the game. And yeah, 1 minute in, we're 1-0 down, which is never what you want to do. Arsenal have been struggling at the moment um, to stay on top of games. Both the Liverpool and the West Ham games, we had a very good 20 minutes, first 20 minutes. We started the game really well in both of those games. It's just we couldn't see it out. This game is different. We were just crap from the beginning. We kind of grew into the game as the game went on. Theo Walcott, like it's scripted almost that Theo Walcott was going to get a goal against us. 2-0 down in like first, I think it was like first 25 minutes. Um, and yeah, we just wobbled completely, and we get a goal back. Martinelli scored a really good goal. And you think, okay, going to half time, 2-1 down, we can make it back, blah blah blah. They go and score again in the second half. 3-1 down. You're thinking game's done, title's done. Um, then Odegaard scored a worldie. Don't know why he didn't do it 20 minutes before he did, but he scored a worldie and it was a really good goal. 3-2, you're thinking, okay. And then we go and get a last minute draw. Third goal, Saka scores. And it's 3-3, and we almost came close to really getting a winner, to be honest with you. Reece Nelson had a decent try. I think Trossard hit the crossbar. But by then it was too late, and a draw is a draw. So yeah, where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us 5 points clear of Man City with 2 games played more than them. They have 2 games in hand on us now. They don't actually play until they play us in midweek on Wednesday. They have a FA Cup game this weekend, I believe. So hopefully that goes on for 120 minutes and into due time or whatever, as long as it's possible. We really want their players to be exhausted. That's what we've been reduced to now. And yeah, people saying the season's done now, and to an extent I agree. Um, like 2 games in hand, you have to think they're going to win them. For me, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Obviously, we've only got 7 games left now, 6 games left. 6 games left, sorry. And they have, I think, 8 still. 8 Premier League games. They've got at least 2 more Champions League games. They've got, I think, at least 2 more. Well, at least 1 more FA Cup game. Um, how many games is that? Is that 11 games, 12 games? Like, I firmly believe that Man City are not going to win all of their last 8 games. I just don't think it. If they do, then you have to hold your hands up and say, well, that's championship. That's title winning mentality. I don't think they're going to do it, especially if they get to Champions League final, which they could. If they could beat Real Madrid, I think they could beat Inter Milan or AC Milan, in my opinion. Um, there's a big question mark for me about whether they can actually beat Real Madrid or not. I think Real Madrid will turn up in that game, in those games. It'll be interesting to see what happens in those games, to be honest with you. But I feel like Real Madrid's just different in the Champions League. So yeah, they've got tons of games left. I just don't see them winning every single one of those games, in my opinion. I believe they will drop points in the Premier League. As it stands, obviously, if we lose at the Etihad, I think that would be the end of our title run. Um, Mainly because we would be 2 points ahead with them having two more games in hand on us. Obviously, you need the points on the board rather than the games in hand, because the games in hand aren't necessarily guaranteed wins, whereas the points are the points. But yeah, if we lose that game, it's 2 points with two games in hand. We're thinking that's pretty much it. I think Newcastle is going to be a hard game, um, and yeah, we're just on a poor run at the moment. Can't see games out when we're controlling them. 2-0, you think, that should be it, but it's not. And then obviously going down, we showed real good fight coming back. We have to say that last season we probably would have lost this game. The last few seasons we would have lost this game. We didn't. We got a point out of it, which is better than nothing. A 3-1 down, we're thinking we're not going to win or get anything in this game, and then we clawed back. So there's praise in that. We did fight back, and we we just did it too late. We did too little, too late. But yeah, I mean, if we get a draw at the Etihad, I think I'll take that. If we win at the Etihad, then it's back enough hands, in my opinion. Would be 8 points clear. They'd still have their two games in hand, but even if they win them, that's still 2 points ahead of us for us. Um, I see it personally going down to the last game. I think it will be the last game. I do believe that we will fix up. I think Saliba's going to come back at some point. I think once Saliba's back and we have the rest of the team playing together, I think that's going to help us. I think Rob Holding's been used as a scapegoat. He's not as good as Saliba, nowhere near. He's not. He's definitely our third choice centre back. Um, but I don't think he's done too much terribly. It's not all on him. People are just blaming him. People are blaming Vieira. Vieira, for me, shouldn't have started this game. He's just not at Arsenal level yet. Similar to Sambi Lakonga and Reece Nelson from a year or two ago. You can see the talent. It's just they're not there yet. And for Vieira, still needs to beef up. He needs to build up his strength, and just get first team football somewhere else for a year. Maybe come back and see what happens. But he needs a loan, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's not over yet for me. We're still top of the league. We're still 5 points clear. People acting like that's it. That's over with now. I mean, Liverpool fans, like, I can understand because they've been in this position before. The difference is that City are not the City of old. Obviously, they're on a really good run of form right now. But like I said, Pep's even started talking about it. He started talking about, they're exhausted. They're playing a game pretty much every other day now. And that's going to continue for at least a couple more weeks. So, yeah, I just don't. Like I say, I don't think they're going to win every single game. They are going to drop points. Hopefully, they drop points against us in midweek. But they are going to drop points for sure. If they do win all 8 games, then you have to hold your hands up and say, well, what can you do against that? I mean, even though if we'd beaten Southampton, if we'd beaten West Ham, if we'd gotten at least, if we'd won against Liverpool, which we should have done, that's 9 points. I mean, we should be like 6 points clear, 6 points more. We should be like, I don't know, 9 or so points clear by now. But it is what it is. And I think the last thing I would talk about is, like, any of you that have been watching my videos on Arsenal this season, if you go back and watch my first one, if you didn't, I told you, like, we won the first game. Yeah, I think it was a comeback win as well. It wasn't a straightforward win, if I remember rightly. I think it was Crystal Palace. But what my point is that in that video I laid out what I wanted, what our objectives should be for this season, and that is getting to the Champions League. We've almost done that. I think we're like 2 points away or something. We needed to win this game. We needed to win the last couple of games. To secure Champions League football. We haven't, but we will. We will. For me, Champions League, getting into the Champions League again was the objective. Nobody saw us in a title fight. I didn't see us in a title fight. I'm thinking, okay, we've strengthened in the summer. We're better now. We're going to have experience from last season. We're going to fly. And I knew that we were going to get top four this season. Like, I knew that. And it had to be the objective. It had to be Champions League. And I felt if Arteta couldn't get Champions League summer this season, and maybe his job would be under threat. I think Saka, Martinelli might not have. Well, Saka hasn't yet, but Martinelli might not have renewed his contract. Saka might not have renewed his contract, especially Saka, because big teams like City, and Real Madrid and things were going to be in for him. We needed Champions League football to keep Saka, and that was our main goal, and we have to remember that. We have to remember that, getting the Champions League was the objective this season. This title race is just, for me, it's been overachievement. It's been ahead of schedule. It's been absolutely amazing, and as stressful as it is, as demoralising as I feel right now, it's been amazing being an Arsenal fan and being in a title race again. Um, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to enjoy it as well for as long as we're involved in it. Um, because you never know, nobody saw us winning in '89, uh, and anything can happen. City could have a slip up. They can rotate out. They have to start rotating their players because they can't play the same 11, their best 11 every game. And you never know. But what my point is that the Champions League football is the thing. It's the foundation thing for me, because once we get Champions League football, we get the extra money. We have the Champions League aspect, so we can buy better players. We can keep our best players, and people talking. My final thing on this video, and I'm gonna stop. My final thing is other fans and media, especially the media and social media as well, all these YouTube fan channels and stuff, they're all talking about us and our title fight, and as being kind of a Leicester, being an anomaly. Well, I can't pronounce that word, but you know what I mean, like out of the ordinary, something a fluke, and like a Leicester, for example. Leicester is a fluke because Leicester just clicked. Their team clicked that season, and everyone else just fell away. Um, but that's not what this is. This is the start of the final part. I mean, I tend to call it phase 3 out of phase 5. Um, this is the start of a new phase where we're going to be not just in top 4 but challenging. Last season we were challenging for top 4. That was trying to get into the top 4. We've done that now. We've made that move. It's not a fluke. I mean, yes, Chelsea have been an abomination this season. Liverpool have fallen off horrifically. Man United have improved. They're likely to finish third, if not fourth. Spurs have obviously imploded, but for me, Spurs is different. Spurs is different from Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea and Liverpool will eventually get back up. Chelsea may take a time because they've just done horrifically in the transfer window, but they're gonna get back up. Spurs are just returning to normality. They're always gonna be a top 6-ish team. And once Harry Kane leaves, which he probably should do this summer. I mean, if he doesn't, he's an absolute plonker. But once him and Son leave, they're not gonna. Doubt they're gonna have Champions League football next season. They're not gonna be able to attract the players that they want. But what I'm trying to say is that these teams are gonna come back, but Arsenal are here to stay, in my opinion. We're always for the time being anyway. We're going to be in the top 4 at least, maybe challenging for the title again regularly, like we should be. And if Liverpool improve, City probably will improve. But United are going to improve. I think United's going to be fighting for the top again next season, but that depends on what players they let go and what players they bring in, because their squad's just not quite at it for me. But what I'm trying to say is people talking about Arsenal like this is a fluke and this is just out of the ordinary. It's because Liverpool and Chelsea have fallen away. Blah blah blah. Well, get used to it, because if we once we get Champions League football, we're going to keep our core players. And our core teams, like below the age of 23 or 24 or whatever, we're going to have this squad for at least 2 or 3 more years. And they're going to grow together. They've already got really good experience with each other. Imagine them in 2 years' time with regular Champions League football, with a couple more additions, world-class additions, because we have a Champions League. This team isn't going anywhere. Arsenal's not going anywhere. So, for anyone saying, it's a fluke, it's only because the other teams have fallen off, well, okay, well, Arsenal are in it now. The title fight, I think, is a season too early, in my opinion. I don't think Arteta expected it. I don't think any of the players really expected it. We are an inexperienced team. That's the downside of this team. Is bar like three players, we don't have any um, league winners or Champions League winners or anything like that in the squad. Apart from Jorginho, Jesus, and Zinchenko, etc. But the core team doesn't have that. Ramsdale doesn't have that experience. Saka doesn't have that experience. Martinelli, Odegaard, even though Odegaard's different, but he's got Madrid experience, I guess. Um, so what I'm saying is, my point is, this whole video, my whole one is that Champions League was the main goal for me. Um, the league title fight was a bonus for me. Obviously now, because we're so close to it, and the championship is starting to look within distance, within sight, and it will be hugely disappointing if we don't get on and do it. But this is just the first step, man. We're not going anywhere now. We're going to be in the Champions League. We're going to get some decent players in the summer, hopefully, and let some other players go. The squad's going to be better next season, and we move on. We'll have the experience. The players are getting valuable experience. They're getting title fight experience, which they've not had before. Like last season they got that experience of just almost getting to the top four and not getting it. And they used that this season, and they've stepped up. And you can see it; it's clear as day that we've stepped up. And like I said, anything can happen. I think it will go down to the last game of the season. I think City will slip up. I think we'll start winning, regardless of what happens at the Etihad. I think we'll start winning games again. And I think City will slip up, and I think it will be a point or two difference. And I think my gut tells me that. I mean, I could be wrong, but my gut tells me that we'll need to win against Wolves at the last game of the season to win the league. But it is what it is. Even if we don't, like I said, if we finish second, 10 points clear of United or whoever finishes third, I'm. That's not an L for me. Obviously, finishing second, it's not winning, but it's progression. It's a brilliant, undeniable sign of the progression that we've gone from barely fighting for top four to title fight, and I want to take this Man City down to the last line, to the last game. Um, I want to I want to make Pep fret about it for the rest of the season. I don't want to just gift it to them. If we keep doing what we're doing, we will gift it to them. But I don't want to just gift it to them. I want to harry Pep all the way and City all the way. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Which sad way to see it, but that's just my one. That's just my opinion. Um, if we finish second, that's still a good season for me anyway. Obviously, the title race and getting so close and losing it is going to be bitterly disappointing. But finishing second with this team who barely finished, almost finished fourth but didn't last season, that's good. That's progress, and that's what I want to see. And with Champions League football, I'll get to my objectives for next season in a later video. But there's 6 games left of the season. We've got a few days now to kind of prepare for Etihad. Any kind of points from the Etihad is a win for me. And then it's game on, bro. And then it's game on. 5 games left. Just those games for us. They've got to deal with Champions League. They've got to deal with FA Cups. Pep's got a million things that he has to worry about. We've just got the next game. The next league game, and then the game after that, and the game after that, and the game after that. We've beaten most of these teams already this season. We will. I think we will start getting a winning run again. It's just we're destined to be nervous wrecks for the entire season because every single game now for Arsenal fans is going to be nervous, and terrifying and stressful, and it's going to be annoying, but it's also awesome. Like, it's also, I'd rather be in this position than be in United's position, or Spurs' position, where they're like fighting for top four. They don't know if they're going to get Champions League football or not. We're in the title race, and this is what it is. A lot of our fans probably don't know what it feels like, because it's been a while since we've been in the title race. But I love it. I love it. I hate it at the same time, but I love it. And I'm trying to appreciate it for what it is and for how long we're involved in it for. But the season's not an L for me. The season's not a failure for me. Um, and this isn't an anomaly either. It's a sign that Arsenal are there, going to be there and thereabouts now. If Liverpool improve and they suddenly start fighting back again, if Chelsea improve, we're gonna still be in there and thereabouts next season. So, I think this is gonna be Arsenal in the top four is gonna be standard again. I think, moving forward. So we've got stuff to look forward to. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about what's gonna happen with the team. I will do a video for the City game because I've got that day off, so I'll do the video, win or lose or draw or whatever. I'll do a video that day, and yeah, and then I just want to get the City game out of the way. Win, lose, draw, like it is what it is. It'll happen. Whatever happens, happens. I just want to get that out of the way and then focus on the last 5 games of the season and try and get as many wins as possible, try and stay ahead as possible. I feel like if it gets down to the last 3 games, I think City will then start to drop off a bit more. I think they'll start panicking a bit. We made them panic a few weeks ago, I think, when they had a bit of a wobble, but then they started winning games again. They started winning as we started kind of flopping a little bit. So if we start getting a couple of wins in a row and it gets down to the last 3 games and they're still 3, 4, 5 points behind us, I think that's when they're going to start panicking. I think that's when they're going to start making mistakes. So like I said, I want it to go down to the wire. I want to go down to the last game of the season at least, and we'll see what happens. But at the moment, yeah, it's bitterly disappointing. We should have won the last 2 games especially. We should be like 4 more point. We should be 9 points clear really by now, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'll be back in midweek for the City video, so keep an eye out for that. Give a like as well. If you can subscribe, that'd be amazing. If you haven't done already, I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll leave a comment in the comments and we'll talk about how this season's going and all that jazz. So yeah, try and relax, try and have a few good days, and then it's a City game, baby. And then after that, it's the end of the last one of games. So, yeah. Anyway, take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon. Adios.